Hello everyone, this is the next stage of our coil pot. What we'll do next is to sand the surface just to get rid of all the lumps and bumps so it feels really smooth all over. Sometimes actually the smooth lumps are not a big deal, but I wanted to make this one really smooth. One of the problems there is going to be the porosity that it opens on the surface, but we'll solve that later with smoothing with water and slips. So we'll get right to it.
Alright everybody, I wanted to show you this stuff. It's called sanding screen. It looks just like window screen, only it's covered with some abrasive carbide. It's also called sheetrock screen, drywall screen. You can get it from a hardware store. I'm showing you because I have to admit I lost the clip where I was actually sanding the pot. Not too big of a deal, it's just like sanding wood. But get yourself some of that because it doesn't clog up. Otherwise you can just use regular sandpaper, and you can use a brush to kind of unclog it.
Okay, so here's my pot all sanded. You can see it has kind of a stony surface, almost like a river rock with little pits in it. You may find this to be a desirable surface. I know I like it because it does look so much like a stone. It's very consistent. I've gotten rid of all the little pits and bumps and lumps on it, made it, given it a good line. The next thing that we're going to do is look at burnishing. So I'll be right back. Okay everyone, here's the next step. If you want to go any further and make the vessel shiny, you can do what's called burnishing. And there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can use a soft brush and a bowl full of water, paint water on the surface, and then burnish it with a smooth stone or a smooth object. It can be the back of a spoon, works pretty good. The way I'm going to do it is with a spray bottle, and so remember that you don't want to add too much water to the surface of the pot, or you're going to start breaking the clay down, and you can crack the pot that way. But if you add a little bit of water and start burnishing just before it absorbs and goes dry again, then you can get this smooth polished surface on it. So let's take a look at that. Add a little water to it. Get my stone. I wait till the sheen of the water disappears, and then start rubbing the surface this way. And what that does is it forces the coarse particles back down into the clay. You're sort of making the surface leather hard again, and it also brings the finer particles to the surface, and they polish. And you can go over it a couple of times to get a good polish. And then you can kind of polish it up with the palm of your hand as well. You want to rub anything sticking to your smooth surface off before you start polishing again. And this takes a while, but I find it to be really pleasant, and Just kind of a meditative thing that you can do. One of those things you could do while you're listening to music or something, but I like just the sound of the stone. So I'm going to show you a little bit more of my process involving this grocery bag, which comes in handy even now. So I'm going to rub this in with my hand and then kind of rub it with the grocery bag, which shines it right away, and then I can kind of get rid of some of the pits through burnishing. So this is forcing the grains back down in there. Then I'm going to use this bag again to polish it. So you see the shine on that? So that's kind of what we're going for. I'll do another little section here. So here is my jar, all burnished. You can see the shine on it. Next thing that I'll do is a sawdust firing. Before I can do that, I need to let this dry out really thoroughly. It needs to be really bone dry. And we also need to have situations where there's no wind, because the increased heat inside the brick box with the sawdust will explode the pot from its chemical water if we don't go really slowly. So that'll be next.
Here's a little better shot of the burnished pot and the shine that you get on it from burnishing. Give you an idea. Picture that kind of shiny charcoal black after we do a sawdust firing.